Good evening. Welcome to the Wind Turbine and Alternative Energy Committee meeting. It's being recorded by the town, Greater Media. Is there anyone else recording this meeting tonight? Okay, thank you. First item on the agenda is minutes. If you bring us where we are.
We are up to date on the minutes, except for last week's minutes, last month's meeting's minutes.
Nothing we need to vote on tonight. Okay. Planners report. Thought he was going to be here. He's not here. There was a petition. Number 3 is petition for the selectmen. I was told that the petition had to do with sound. Objecting to sound. Rick, maybe you could fill us in on that?
No,
Oh, you don't know anything about it? Okay.
I have no idea where it came from.
That's what I was told the objection was sound. And it was sent to the selectmen, so we did not get a copy. I did go to the meeting. I was called by several by residents telling me that it was on the agenda. So I did show up, and there were many people there. One person thought it was going to be installed on Prospect Street, very close to Prospect Street. Another person thought it was going to be installed on South Street. None of them really knew exactly where it was going to be installed. So I think Adam Burney told them where it was going to be installed. And I also mentioned that it's in that middle of, I don't know how many acres we have up there, maybe 80 or 100 acres of land behind BJ's, and it's probably close to the center of that. It's quite a distance, as far away as you could possibly be, and still not very close to any houses. So the first house I think was about over 3 football fields away. Another gentleman quite eloquently got up, and he obviously had a lot of background, I believe, with the electric company, and he had questions that only SCD could answer. I did request that SCD, Matt Vanderbrook, who is the engineer who did the grant writing, be present at this meeting tonight. I was told he could not attend. But if I remember correctly, Nancy, I believe we had, when we first did the grant, there was supposed to be 4 or 5 times where we reached out to the community, and he was supposed to be leading those meetings as part of the grant money. So I'll further ask Adam on that. Do you remember that, David or Jack? I think I remember that quite clearly.
Yeah, he did say he was going to show up for a few of these meetings. As far as I know, he's only been to one.
Towards the end. Yeah. And we called, I think it was, the term used was community outreach meetings, to inform the community about all the aspects and answer any questions that residents might have.
And that was on the original contract, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many have we used up so far? No more than 2?
To no more than 2.
Well, that's us.
Us.
As a committee.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we had requested meetings, and at first we were told it was going to cost us, what, $1,300.
Mm-hmm. We'd
have to find that in the budget, and then later on that changed. And I did have them come in for a meeting. These are the financials that I passed out to you from Ed Kasanovich. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell us what the items are. They're not itemized. It tells us how much money has been spent. But it doesn't give the details on exactly what it was for. And the last time we had a meeting, this was quite different. It was, I think, 37,000, something like that, was still remaining. So this is where we stand right now. Any questions on SED? I would have preferred that they be here.
No.
Yep.
How much is there remaining on this? I mean, these figures all seem to be, I mean, is this, available budget at the bottom here, is that 14,997? Is that what's left?
That's the way I'm reading it.
Okay.
But I will call Ed and ask him to make sure that that's correct. There's obviously some income that's come in from the Clean Energy Division, like that $50,000 item. But then he has all these disbursements too. The other one is, I asked Ed Casanovich just to check the figures that the report had given, and this is what he came up with. If you have any questions, you should call him. He didn't give any recommendations on this is how he would fund it or not. But if you remember, Sustainable Energy Developments had funded it at 4%, I believe. The current loan rate that he's getting is a little under 2 for 10 years and 3.25 for 20 years is what he mentions at the bottom of the sheet. Nancy, if we can include these with the minutes when we pass them in,
Yep.
would be great. Any other questions on the financials? The sound test, only the town can answer that one where it stands. And since Mr. Bernie isn't here right now, I don't have an answer for you. It's at that meeting where the residents put in the petition, he did say that we were still trying to get the state to do it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and what the results of the sound test are. Any comments on the sound test?
How they do a sound test if there's nothing there? How they test it? Just curious.
It's a good question.
Or do they give us results from other projects? Just curious.
I don't really know. Again, this would be a question that would have been great to ask Matt Vanderbrook from the people who received the grant.
Was there any indication as far as what the state requirements are for those, or the sound levels themselves? Was there any comment given to that?
Yes, the gentleman from the electric company seemed to know what they should be and what they shouldn't be. And I added that I welcome people to go over to Holy Name, and by the road that goes by, you can't invite them into Holy Name because it's a private organization. And try to judge how far it is from your house where the turbine would be located. Open up your windows and see what you hear. I know Dave's been over there. I've been over there. There's no loud noises coming from that one. If they're operating properly, I don't think there are loud noises. If they're not operating properly, then there's something wrong with them and they need to be repaired. Or they were built, on a pond or something, which is not a good site and very different from our own site. But if you have any questions, would like to forward those to Adam if you think of them, or
Okay.
get a chance, and SED should probably answer those for us, hopefully in writing, if he can't be here for another meeting. Would you people like to see SED here, Sustainable Energy Developments, to answer more questions about the report, the sound, and the balloon test?
Yeah. When was Matt last here? Was that about 6 months ago? Do you have that, Nancy?
I didn't bring all my notes with me.
What was that?
That sounds reasonable.
I know it was a warm day. A lot warmer.
I think it was April.
Would be mid-April.
Okay, that sounds about right. Okay.
Yeah, I have till June with me here.
And when does our contract run out with them? I think they've gathered all the information.
Yes, he seemed to think it was someplace May or June. He said to me personally that they would still be available after that.
May or June of 14?
Yes.
Your contract.
Yeah, at that meeting, I think, that he was here, he said they had 9 more months left in it. Formally.
Okay.
But they have a vested interest as the Clean Energy Department has. Now the Clean Energy Department has given us 2 grants of money. And usually when they start a project, they like to finish them, especially if they spend money. And the town has invested money. They built the road up there. It's cost a few dollars already. Again, now we go to the, we all set on the sound test. And we are interested in that. So we'll just carry that to our next agenda. And hopefully if we, it probably would be determined by when we can get a CD here.
Okay.
All right. I'm not trying to have a meeting in December, because I know you have holidays and all kinds of things. It's very hard to get a quorum at that time. But let's see what, I'll pass that on to Adam and see what dates he can come up with so we can report on the sound test. And the balloon test I would like to see. I don't know where that stands right now. I was told that it was going to happen. At that meeting, they said it was going to happen. So, but no one has said a word to me since then on the balloon test. And I would like to see it happen. I think it's a good idea. Any questions on the balloon test? Okay, committee suggestions for our next agenda. If you don't have any now, we see two right there. Sound test, we don't have the town represented here tonight, so they can't tell us where that stands. And they handle that completely themselves. And the balloon test, the SCD is in charge of that and would communicate through the town, then to us. We always want to remember that we're an advisory committee, and we basically give advice. We do not make the decisions. And we're one of the three types. So we basically give the town manager advice, and then she makes the decisions. Any suggestions for the next meeting? I assume you didn't object, you want to bypass December.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
okay.
because it's a tough one. And the rest would be determined on when we can get a CD in here
Okay.
for a meeting. And hopefully that would be a public forum too. So if any residents have questions, that they can come in.
Yeah.
Is that your hand up, Dave?
no.
Rick?
I have three informational packets into you from June, August, and September. And
Would you like
asked-
those on an
excuse me,
agenda?
And asked when I submitted them that they would be put on the agenda, so I'm wondering when they're gonna be put on the agenda.
I believe we discussed I did put quite a few of them on that last agenda.
No. If you remember correctly, the last agenda, I dropped the packet off about 10 days before the meeting. You didn't pick it up in time, so it didn't get on that agenda. I believe at the end of the last meeting, it was agreed here that it was going to be put on for this meeting, which it wasn't.
I put several of the items on the agenda.
I've got almost 100 pages of information that I want to discuss with you, so
Okay.
the items that I submitted,
Why don't I, if I can do this with you, to make sure that I have all of these, because I seem to be recalling two packets.
there was the original one that I
Yeah,
gave you
yeah.
in June, there was one
I
in
picked,
August, and there was another one in September, and I have
Yeah.
a fourth here.
all right,
I have a good hour's discussion that I'd like to have with you.
okay. We'll be glad to put each one of those on the agenda.
Why,
I believe I put some of them quite a few of them on the agenda. I know the one regarded the balloons. I know that for a fact. And I had mentioned to you that I responded to you from what you had passed in. That whole agenda was pretty much what came from your suggestions.
there is much, much more than what you put on that agenda in those packets. And it really, as a citizen, I'd like to be able to put it out on the table.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what you can do is, why don't you write down, would you be willing to write down the topics so that I don't miss any of them?
Sure.
And then if you want, I'll be glad to meet with you, and we'll make sure that it's all there for another agenda.
Well, there's nothing mystical about this. The packets are pretty well put together, and they're very specific to the points that are in them. So-
I just don't
and you
want,
have that.
I don't want to miss any of the topics.
Well,
If you would do that, I'd be happy, if you're willing to do that.
do what?
Just list the topics down that you want discussed, and I'll be glad to put those on the agenda.
Sure.
That will be done.
I can tell you what we can do, we can solve this very quickly. The packets that I sent you, if you just want to put them on from August 26th, September 9th, and September, I don't have the original one, June 18th.
September 9th.
But can you, when I do an agenda, can you tell me which topics you want to put down for the
Well, don't
agenda?
you have the packets that I gave you?
I have the packets,
They're
yeah.
all listed right there. Each one has got 6 or 8 different items to it.
Yeah, well, that's where I took one of the agendas from, pretty much the whole agenda.
I don't think so.
Well, I think so. We disagree on that
That's
one.
fine. If you want me to put it on one sheet of paper for you, I will do that and get it.
That would be very helpful. That way I can make sure I can't miss anything.
That's fine.
I appreciate that.
That's fine.
And anything else?
I have 2 packets here that I'd like to give you.
Are they for the members?
They are.
Sure.
If I might, through the chair, I think that a lot of the things, just in the ones I have in front of me that Rick brought up, I think a lot of them, a lot of the questions that we have for SED,
Yes.
you know, I think that a lot
True.
of Rick's questions need SED to be here to answer them.
I agree with that,
I
too.
think they're the ones that,
Thank you.
This is a copy of the packet that I gave to the Finance Committee, and those are your copies for them.
are these new ones, Rick? This is new?
Those are new, the ones
Okay.
with the picture in
These are
front.
new.
Okay.
Those are new. And the other one is a copy of a packet that I gave to the Finance Committee a month or 2 ago.
Okay, I don't think,
Just your
I don't
copies.
remember getting 2 sets.
Yeah, I do too.
Gave you the original set in June.
Well, I picked up a set
And I
and
gave you
from,
one in August, and I gave you another one in September. And they're all related specifically to
Okay,
different
this-
items as we go along.
This one definitely did not get.
No, that was given to the Finance Committee, and
Oh, okay.
it's your copies that I,
Oh, okay.
obviously I didn't want to ask the girls in the town hall to distribute anymore, so I figured I'd wait until I came here to give you yours.
so there are copies in here for everyone?
They're up.
Hey, did you give those through Adam Burney, or did you give those directly to us?
I left those at the town hall, and the girls called Mr. Vatukas.
Okay, because I received an email notifying me recently.
I went and picked something up at the selectman's office.
I think
How
the last
recent
one,
was
August
that?
26th,
last one I
I
dropped
picked
off
up.
was in September.
Okay, well that, I don't quote me on the date of that last one that I received the email on, but
Thanks.
it was recent.
I'm assuming when I drop them off, and the girls call the chairman will distribute them to you, so I don't know where they went.
Well, I called the members and told them that they can pick them up.
However you do it.
And that's what I did.
Was that the finance one?
Bob,
One in front of you.
one for us.
This is the finance one, right?
Yeah.
Nancy, you got one? Finance?
25th?
Yeah, they all went around, yeah.
Okay, and then
So this is
you're
mine?
clockwise?
Yeah,
Did you get one of these?
yeah, and there's one, must be one there for Joe.
So this is the new one? Or this is the new one?
That's the new one.
This is the one that was presented to the
Along with
finance committee.
pictures is the new one.
So we should have 4 altogether after you
You
give
would
us that
have
one.
4 altogether, counting that one, that's correct.
This one's addressed to Kevin on the Finance Committee.
As I said, it is your copy of the packet that I sent to the Finance Committee. You're CC'd on it, so it's your copy.
I haven't seen this one before.
No.
No,
We agree on that.
we agree on that.
And this one now. This is the new one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You pass that. And for the other 2 members of the committee?
Did
With
I give you 6?
2, 3, 5. 5.
Everyone here
Unless
has-
there's 2 before.
Okay, so you need 2 for,
One for Joe.
You need one for Jeff?
Yeah.
Adam,
I've got a separate one going to Adam in the morning.
then only Jeff.
Okay, so Jeff Mitchell?
I will get one to him.
Did you want to give him this one too? At the same time?
I will give him that at the same time.
Do you want it back?
No?
Okay, so if you'll note that Rick has given us two separate packets. Nancy?
Yep.
Okay. And we both agree that since it's not on the agenda, we can't
Oh,
discuss these two
absolutely.
packets.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else? And if someone wants to make a motion to adjourn,
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Thank you very much.